How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I'm over here at the mechanics bench today. We've got a little project we're going to try and get done. So stay tuned. A while ago I installed this shelf right here above the backstop here on my workbench. I thought that was a good idea. I had a bunch of stuff piled up there. But then I ended up buying these wrenches. And I did a review on these. I'll put a link to that video down below. And you know, I'd like to have these wrenches handy to the workbench rather than have to go to the toolbox every time I want to get something. So with that shelf mounted right there, there wasn't enough room to hang the wrenches below it, and I thought hanging them above it would be too high, plus whatever I put on the shelf would be in the way every time I wanted a wrench. So I decided what I would do is move the shelf. Why not, right? And then I'll be able to hang the wrenches under the shelf, and then this backstop would be all free for me to pile stuff against. Oh, yeah. So yeah, okay, so this is the longest wrench in the kit. Well, what do I see? Here's the other long one on the standard side, on the metric side. Yeah, this is the longest one. We're going to measure that, and we're going to find out that it's, I need probably at least 12 inches. So my wrenches are 12 inches long. I'd like to have them just a little bit above the top of that backstop there. And so I'm thinking if I measure, let me see, let me get my measuring stick out here. If I come up there, I'm going to say, if I come up 13 inches above the top of this, that'll give me lots of room there for the biggest wrench to hang. So I think that'll be good. So I'm going to measure up here 13 inches. Yeah, 13 inches. And I'm going to put a couple of marks here because my ledger strips, I have these ledger strips that's going to support the back of the shelf, and because they're short, I'm putting a couple, you know, more than one mark so I can locate them. So 13 inches and 13 inches in here. Okay, now to be honest, I was going to get my laser level, and just set the level up here, the laser level, and mark off the lines. But turns out the bench is not level. Oh man. So we're going to locate these. Let me see, I'm going to put one right here. I'll screw that to the wall, and then I'll put this one on the end of it. Screw that out there somewhere, right? Okay, let me get some screws and set up, we'll do that. So I started a couple of screws here that line up with the studs. So we're going to put those on those marks. Hold it tight to the end. And we'll put this screw in here. And then we'll set this screw in here. Now I've got just, these are 1.5 inch screws, so I'll put a couple of those, put one in the end here just to hold the end in tight. And the same on this end. And then I'll put one in the middle, why not? Alright, that should hold that. So I'll do the same with this one. So now we're going to put our shelf piece up here. Something like that. I got 1.5 inch screws here for this one. And because I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the shelf, it could be heavy stuff, could be light stuff, could be, I don't know what. Make sure I put lots of screws in here to hold it. All right, so I think that's going to be good height. For example, if I wanted to put some of those up there, it's just about at eye height, so I can see right to the back of the shelf, so that's good. And you know, like I say, I'm not sure what I'm going to put up there, but At least it's not going to be so high up that I can't reach it. Okay, and then the wrenches can go under here. So I also have some of these brackets here I'd like to put on there just to support it, but I don't want to put them like too far in, so maybe I'll put it 6 inches in from the end of that shelf. What would that be? 6 inches would be about here. No, 5 inches. 5 inches, and then I want to make sure that they're plumb. Put a little line right there. And what I did was, to secure these, I drilled some angle holes through the side here. So I need a long screw for this top one, a not so long screw for the bottom one. So we're going to set that right there. Line up in that line. There you go. And then I'll put a screw down through the top to secure that. But I have a second one here I'd like to put up in here somewhere. It's maybe 5 inches from this end too. What do you think of that? I think that might work, eh? So 5 inches from this end would be about here. And I think that'll do it. Okay, let's see if we can hang some wrenches under there now. So I spend a little bit of time trying to figure out the spacing between each wrench to hang them up on the wall. So I think I've got a, I got a kind of a idea of it. So then I'd like to center, you know, between these two uprights, hang the wrenches in there somehow. So anyways, what I did was I come up with a mark right here. I'm going to put a nail in there because I'm going to hang them up on nails. That'll do it for now. I also have my laser up there to line them up. And I'm going to shut the laser off just because it's hard to see the tape with the laser light shining on it. So I'll shut this off. So I'm taking some time to lay this out because I think this is critical. If you don't set this right, it just won't look right, I don't think. The first space is 2 inches. So because the wrenches change in size, the spacing between the wrenches is not always going to be the same. So I'm just going to mark these out, and no sense me telling you what the dimensions are. If you want to know them, I will. So I'm going to come back when I'm finished. How'd that be? So I've got my marks here, and wouldn't you know it, the screw I put in here to hold it, that's exactly where that last mark's supposed to go. So now I'm going to try and drive some nails in here. And let me see. I don't know how far in to drive them. Alright, now tip them up just a little each one. Okay, now let's hang our wrenches. All right, what do you think of that? I think that's going to work out all right. I'm going to do the same over here, and I'm going to put these largest on the left, smallest on the right as well. So this one will go that way, that one will go that way. I think that'll work best. Anyway, you know, marking this out, it's fussy, eh? Tedious work, but I think that's going to be all right. Well, there we are. We're back in business, I think. Hey, I think the shelf is a good height. I got some of the stuff piled up there. I don't know whether that stuff's going to stay up there or not, but I just wanted to pile it up there just to see, you know, like I can still access that and get out in my cupboards. There are my little drawers and whatnot. The wrenches are all laid out there. And what I did also is I took, have my little printer label maker thingy that I have, and I printed out some labels, so like 1 inch, 15, 16, 7/8 and all that. Put them above there because even though I have the markings on the wrenches highlighted with the red paint marker, sometimes with the glare off the chrome it was still hard to see them. So I can really make out the sizes really well now, having the labels put up there. So that worked pretty good, and I think the shelf is good and solid. And I was worried too a little bit about maybe the height wasn't high enough, or was too high, I mean, above my back stop here, my backsplash. But I think it's going to work it all right. And this ledger is 1 inch thick, so that means the wrenches hang 1 inch away from the wall, so it's easy to reach in and grab them, eh? So I like that. Even the small ones, you can reach in and grab the small ones pretty easy. The other thing I like about this layout too is usually when I'm picking out a wrench, I'm not much good at guessing sizes. I have to take like 2 or 3 of them before I get it right. But say I had, I don't know, just pick a couple off here like that, and I'm away doing my job, and I'm finished the job, and I come back, and I'm thinking, you know, I know where my needle nose pliers are, but what about my wrenches? Have I got all my wrenches picked up? And yes, I can see very quickly that there's wrenches missing here, so you know that they have to go back. And when it's all complete like that, you know all the wrenches are present and accounted for. So let me know what you think. Do you like my little modification I made here on the mechanical workbench and laid out my wrenches that way? Let me know, eh? And don't forget, thumbs up me. Have a great week too, wherever you are, folks. And we'll talk to you.